Okay, everybody, AirCrete Jeff here. I told you I would show you the gun, the foam generator, and this is the foam generator. And the beauty of this foam generator is, and it doesn't have to be this tall, this is just the one I did because it holds almost 5 gallons. And the way that this works is that this gun right here is all there is. So, basically, you squeeze the trigger and you're going to start making foam. You can have this hose as long as you want it to be. So, that hose, you hang that up there, and the hose can be as long as you want it to be. It has a regulator, and this thing can go all the way up to about 120 psi. Most of your compressor will probably do. The way it works is you have your air comes in here, you regulate, turn up your air pressure however you want it, come through, and what happens is you have your liquid, which can be all the way up to here. So you have your liquid in here with your soap, soapy water or soap and water solution, and I only use Drexel. And what happens is the air pressure comes in, and the air pressure also is just open in here. The air pressure goes from here to here, and pressurizes the outlet side of your air pressure into the hose. So that's where that happens. And then, because this is pressurized, it pressurizes the liquid this way, which then brings it down, which brings it up the hose or up this tube, which it can be so it can be a clear tube, but because of the pressure, I want the PVC. So it pressurizes that, brings the liquid up this tube, and comes out to this shutoff right here, which can be adjusted. Which these can be PVC, which would be a lot cheaper. So if you make both of these out of PVC, it'd be a whole lot cheaper. So, and that's what I'm working on, is making this really cheap. So this is where your liquid comes out. This is where it blends with the air, and you can adjust your air. You really don't want to adjust with your regulator into here. You can adjust some, but you don't want to adjust a lot. And for the simple fact that you want that pressure to push this liquid back up the tube and then out here. So here's where you do your air adjustment to come out to your hose. Now once you've adjusted this, and once you've adjusted your liquid, there is really no other adjustment. So what you do then is you just pick your gun up, and you can bring your gun anywhere you want with as long of a hose as you want, and you don't have anything else to do. And there's nothing coming out of this when this is pressurized up. So when you have your pressure, all you do is you pull the trigger and you start making your foam almost immediately. And when you pull the left trigger off, you're not making any foam anymore. So that is the foam generator, and you just take the lid off and you fill this up, pour it into there, and you just, when you're, 5 gallons is going to make a lot. It's closer to 4, so you have about a gallon left, but that's a lot of foam. You probably want to take a break after you use that much foam. So, but anyway, you can cut this down. You can have it this tall. You can have it that tall. Just however you want. But this is the tallest I can make it and ship it in a box. So if I were to sell these, I'm going to make better legs for it. But the way it would ship in the box is probably everything, maybe except for this and this part here. Everything else would be done and assembled, or I may just sell a kit, or I may just sell. I'm probably just going to sell the plans and do all three. The kit to put it together would have everything drilled, and then the fully assembled one would be done, except for screwing in your PVC shutoffs. I got to test those first. Haven't tested the PVC shutoffs, so we'll see how they work. But this is the generator here, and it's pretty simple, really. But This is an expensive part. This I ordered this. We have these at work, and I ordered one from where we get them from, and it's just like almost $30 for this wand right here. But it's meets OSHA standards. It's a good quality trigger gun, and it's got a nice size outlet here. And then this is, of course, where the steel wool's at, and that you can take the end cap off and put a nozzle on it. And I'm going to try to do a experiment where I just basically put a tube on here and run a piece of tubing, put a piece of tubing on here, and then run the tubing down into my mixing bucket, and I'm going to inject the foam into the bottom as I'm mixing the mortar mix. I mean the Portland cement and water, and as I get that mixed, just inject the foam into the bottom of the bucket, or the barrel or drum or whatever it is, and then that way you don't have to worry about putting it in from the top. It'll be automatically going in from the bottom, and we'll see how that works out. It should work pretty good because you've also got air, so it'll be forcing the foam in there, but it may put too much air in the mix. So we just have to see how that works. It'll just be another test. So anyway, next time we're actually going to be making some foam, and we're going to be making some actual AirCrete, and I'm going to be making a mold, and we'll do all this from start to finish. The whole mold making process, from making the mold to pouring the first batch into the mold to figuring out what we're going to use in the batch, and then all the stuff will be in the notes. So if it turns out great, you're good. If it don't turn out great, don't do it. That's why these YouTube channels are so important. It's trial and error, and just have fun with it. It's not that expensive. Once you build your initial foam generator, it's really not that expensive to continue on. So anyway, Buddy's hungry, and so y'all have a good day, and be safe and welcome aboard.